Hey guys, it's been a while since I've done a video. I've been really busy with X-ray school. Thank you guys, by the way, for all your prayers and encouragement. I appreciate it very much. I just finished summer session and I'm on a break right now, and so among other things, one of the things I'm working on or planning to work on is a refinishing project on one of my favorite Telecasters. Now, you've seen this guitar in a number of my videos. I usually play jazz on it or blues. It's what I've affectionately named the Diegocaster after a friend. Well, I didn't know him when I bought it, but he became a friend. I shared the gospel with him, and he's an awesome dude. So, and I really love the guitar. There were things about it that I wasn't quite entirely happy with when I got it, so I've done some tweaking. I changed the neck on it pretty early on. That's on another guitar. I eventually changed the switching, put in four-way switching, changed the bridge because it had a modern bridge on it that really didn't fit it. And I changed the pickups to Cavaliers. I have a Fat Lion King and Fat Lion set on there, so which are great for jazz. And I've always loved, let me show you this thing real quick. I've always loved, here it is, you probably recognize it. I've always loved the finish on this guitar. It's shellac, it looks beautiful. It's not the best done shellac job. It's hard to tell from a distance, but as you get in really close, I put in an electro socket jack too. It had one of those football jacks. Get down here just so you can see. This is a single piece of pine, knotty pine. It's beautiful. Some wonderful knots on the front and back here. Flip it over. I was actually having my Granville built when I ran across this online, and I asked him if I could meet him to check it out. And I was kind of half praying that I wouldn't like it because it was actually what I had been looking for a while. Part of the reason I finally commissioned someone to build me one back then is before I started building. And so I ended up loving it. But to get back to the finish, I think what happened here, shellac is one of those finishes that you have to put on in thin coats like True Oil. And it needs to dry properly between coats. If you put it on too thick, it can get gummy, or it can have problems with being sticky. And I think that that's what happened on this. I think whoever put the finish on this, it was either their first time using shellac or maybe their first time finishing a guitar, and they just tried to do too much too soon, or maybe they didn't thin it out enough. So the problem is when I put it in a case, I stick it in a guitar case or a gig bag, any place where it's in close contact with some kind of fabric that might trap heat, it becomes sticky and it sticks to the case material, which makes it really hard to store, of course. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to strip this off, and I'm going to put 30 coats, maybe a little more. I did 30 coats on my jazz bow build that I did a few years ago, and it came out really nice. It's actually darkened nicely to a beautiful amber, very similar to this in color. So that's my project that's going to be coming up in the next week or two if I can get to it. And I'm hoping to shoot some video of the process if I can. It won't be anything terribly exciting. Probably just some little snippets of me in process with sanding, or maybe some before and after kind of deals, where you can see some progress I've made. But I'm really excited. I think that it'll be cool when it's done, and then I'm probably going to, this neck is a fantastic neck. I mean, it's all parts. Let me kind of get a side shot of this here. It's an all parts TRO fat. It's their 1-inch U shape. It's one of the biggest necks, probably the biggest neck you can buy. And it's like a bass neck, which you know, I had been moving for years to bigger and bigger necks, and this one I think was just a little too much. So I'm either going to, I'm probably going to try like a 60s era medium C, or maybe a soft V like I have on my black guitar. I'm not sure yet. Part of it's going to depend on what's available inexpensively, and part of it's going to depend on if I can get my hands on one and see how it feels. But and then I may or may not make this back into a jazz guitar. If I do, then everything else is going to go back on. Otherwise, I'm probably either going to change the bridge pickup out for something more traditional, like a Cavalier Bakersfield, or I may just change the whole set for like some Fender 64s or something. But most likely I'll try and stick with the Cavs. That would give me a pretty versatile instrument and voiced a little differently than my other guitars. So stay tuned. There's always some kind of mad experiments going on in my guitar laboratory here. But if you're new to my channel, please subscribe. I do add new content whenever I can. I haven't done much music lately. It's been more gear oriented stuff, but I hope to be doing some music over this break also, if I can just kind of get some things together. So stay tuned for that. Appreciate you all, and I'll talk to you soon. God bless.